application or a tool to calculate the age. Now, before we start entering or thinking on the formula that we want to use, I would like you to know a few things. Okay. Uh, by default, Excel considers 365 days in a year. Okay. If you are doing certain calculation which are over few years, then you need to account for the leap years as well. So every 4 year you have a leap year which has 1 day more, with February of 29 days. Hence, to round it off and have your answer as accurate as possible, we can always consider a year of 365.25. So add a quarter day in every year, so that over the span of 4 years, the number of days you would consider would be as close to the reality as possible. Also, accordingly, I have considered 365.25 divided by 12 to give us the average number of days every month. So as we know, few months are 30 days, few months are 31 days. February normally 28 days, and in a leap year 29 days. So if you really want to be very accurate, then you will have to build very complicated or complex formulas to take care of all these um, number of days per year and leap year to calculate or do your arithmetic around the dates. But generally, certain approximation around the days are acceptable, and that's what we are going to do in this particular age calculator. So the result that we want is whenever you enter your date of birth, you should get your age as on today in number of total dates, or also how many years, months, and days you are today. Okay. So for example, if I enter date of birth as 8th of May 1978, then let's try to calculate the age. So first of all, let's see, we want to calculate total number of days. Okay, so how can we calculate days? Can use formula days and the end date. So end date, we want to calculate the age as on today. So the end date should be the today's date. So instead of entering the today's date, we can use the formula. So this is a nesting of the formula. You can use one formula inside the other formula. So the formula we will use for end date is today, and the start date will be your date of birth, and total number of days. So if your date of birth is 8th of May 1978, then today you are living your 14,663rd day. So how many years it is? So to calculate that, I will divide this number by 365.25, and it gives me 40 years. I can activate few decimal numbers for it. So you can see that it is 40.15 years. Okay, so it is 40 years complete and then 0.15 years on top of it, which means it's few months and few days. If you want the whole number 40, then you can use a formula called as integer. Okay, so you use formula int, which says that rounds a number down to the nearest integer. Okay, so use integer and use bracket around the division that we are doing to get the number of years. It will give us the full years as 40. Okay, now we want to know, so 40 years are complete. So actually 40 years are complete on 8th of May 2018, but today's date is 30th of June. So I also want to know number of months and days as part of the age calculator. So to calculate number of months, what we will do, we'll go back to the simple arithmetic where we would calculate the remainder of the division and use that to calculate the months. So what I will do here, there is a function in mathematics, under mathematics, which is called as mod. So it returns the remainder after a number is divided by a divisor. So we are dividing 14,663 by 365.25, and the remainder is 53. So 53 days. And now we want to know that 53 days means how many months. So divide this by 30.4375. So it is giving us the value as 1.74. So the one full month and 0.74 months on top of it. That means one full month and few days. To get the full months, again we can add integer and put everything else in the bracket. So it will round it off to the nearest integer, which is 1. Okay, and there are still few days remaining. All right, so I will, instead of using uh, again the mod and division and integer formula, what I will do, I will use the total number of days, and from that I will subtract the total years we calculated, multiply by 365.25 minus total months, multiply by 30.4375, and this will give me total number of days as 23. And I will hide the decimal places for all these numbers. So the age as on today, if your date of birth is 8th May 1978, then it is 40 years, 1 month and 23 days. 40 years, 1 month and 23 days. If I enter the date as 30th January 1982, then the age would be 13,300 days, 36 years, 4 months and 29 days. Okay. So you would always see a little difference, maybe 1 or 2 days less or more in this calculation because of the rounding off errors, because of the way uh, the Excel has a limitation to consider the number of days in a year and in a month. You can of course build complex formulas considering every month in every year and number of days to reach the exact value. But I think we can live with this for now. Like, subscribe, and share the video.